You need to work on your sign up in this particular application. Now, for you to work on the sign up, you need two things. You need one important thing, which is to use your Firebase. Right? Firebase can easily aid in authentication. So you can use Firebase as the storage unit or storage, your storage for data, what's the name? Data details, you understand? So for instance, username, the password, the email, forget, you can use this database as well, your Firebase as well as your database and authentication. Now, the reason why I'm using Firebase is because, first of all, we do not have a backend, right, to aid in authentication. We can actually do everything in the front end, but it's not really going to like be perfect. So the best thing is to use Firebase to explain how authentication can work. Exactly, to everybody. Now, for us to do that, first of all, create, and I think everybody has done that. So you should have your authentication project. So open it up. So after opening it up, you should already have your authentication. So you go to build. I'm just recapping again. You go to build and you should go to authentication. That's in your Firebase. So after going to authentication, everybody is doing this. After going to authentication, you will see what's the name. So you should see enable, what's the name? You should see enable email plus password. So enable it and click on continue. So that's how you're going to work on it. Yeah, this is what you should see. So you see enable email and password. So once you click on enable, you just move on, and that's it. So that is that about authentication. Now, after doing this, we need to now add the logic for the authentication. Yes, we have the authentication, but have we connected it to our app? No, we've not connected it yet. I hope everybody is listening. Please, I need everybody's attention. Don't worry, we'll write you work on the code soon. So after doing that, we've not connected the application yet, have we? No. How do you connect the application? You use the Firebase documentation to connect this application. So you read the Firebase documentation, look at the codes that are needed, you understand, for you to be able to integrate this logic. So how do you do that? You go to your Firebase docs. So now everybody can go to your Firebase docs. So you search for Firebase docs. So after searching for Firebase docs, you should see Firebase. Just search for Firebase and then open Firebase and then you should see docs. Now you should see something like this. So click on more, then you should see on docs. Can you see docs? I'm going to take it again. Go to Google and search for Firebase docs. The first link you see, click on it and open it up. Now, what is a documentation? A documentation is basically a guide on how you can integrate certain application into your own application, or if that makes sense, a certain application into your projects. You understand? Again, a documentation is like a guide. So for instance, if you get a TV or you get a TV stand, TV stand, the TV hanger, right? They will include a manual on how you can like couple it yourself, even though not gonna spoil it just because of whether I can do it. Yes, but even though they will still show you that this is how you can do it. Okay, this is how you screw it, this is how you put it on the wall. You understand? That's like a guide. Now, in this case, your docs, every single API, every single project should have a documentation on how you can easily run it and how you can integrate it into your own application. Now, that's what a doc is. A doc is a guide on how you can use that application. So Firebase docs now has a guide for all of their services. So all of their services include authentication, storage, do you understand? Database. Do you get it now? That is basically what it is. Now, in this class, we're going to integrate this build, right? And where exactly, now if you come here, where exactly is your authentication located? Build, right? So in your docs also, you go to build. And what exactly are you looking for? Authentication. So you click on authentication. So once you click on authentication, it brings you here. But in this place, you also need to note that what you are interested in is what? Web. Because you are building a web application. So if you are building a mobile application now, probably Flutter or iOS, you can use it. Probably Android or iOS, you can. If I bring with Flutter, that's for can be both Android and iOS. You can use Flutter. But I'm using what? Web. Now in this web, What exactly are we interested in? Right? What is the current authentication we want to work on? Are you sure it's email link? Password authentication. Because what we have has both email and password. Email link is that one that you just put email, it sends you a link. Password is like, okay, it is going to give you. So now you click on password authentication. Now, password authentication, you slide down, you will now see a lot of these things. So now this is the first thing. If you read this place, it says to create a new user account with the password, complete the following steps in your. So we've done this, right? We've been able to do this. That's the one with the authentication, enabling the authentication. The next one is what? You should not call this module. Do you remember what I said about module?
Yes, import.
Good, import a function. Exactly. That's what modules are. You can import function. Now, create user with email and password is a module from where? Firebase. And where exactly is it stored? It is stored in what? Firebase authentication. Do you get it now? But now, in our own case, we will not be using this firebase/auth. Why? Because this particular syntax or this particular syntax of importing modules is the what? Is for a framework. But we're not using framework. What are we using? Vanilla JavaScript, normal JavaScript. So for us to do that, we need to use the link. Now, how do we use the link? So if I come here now, this is how you use the link. So looking at this is the link, right? That says what? Firebase JS /app. Now, but in this case, what exactly are we importing? We are importing Firebase from which place? From the authentication file, right? So instead of using firebase-app.js, what are we going to use? We use your firebase-auth.js file. You understand it now? So that's how we are going to what? Import this create user with what? Email and password. Is it clear? Now, good. That's the first thing. Again, what did they say? They say import get auth module from where? Firebase auth. Create user with email and password with what? Firebase auth. And that's what we did here. So in this place, I imported it from here. Is it clear to you? So they showed you here. Just copy. Copy. Bam. If you've copied, you can go ahead and paste here. So I'm going to remove this now so that I'm going to do it fresh. So I'm just going to paste it here. That's all. But again, we are not using what? What are we not using? We are not using Firebase. We are not using a framework. We are using what? This link. So I'm just going to copy this link and I'm going to paste here. So where did you say we should import it from? Auth, right? Isn't it? Good. So now instead of using app.js, what I'm going to use auth.js because there's also a file named auth.js on Firebase. You understand it now? That is how that's how this is going to work. Now, you should have your APIs by now. Told you to do that. That was on Wednesday. What's the question? Which link? This one. Check your thing and should have it here. This one. Check your Firebase config. .js. Okay. It's from your API. You copied it to your API. This API that is here. Yes. No, it is not from Firebase. It's one you copy from Firebase itself. You know, when you register your app, the web app, you will receive a link. Link that comes with your API, your auth domain, and everything. It comes with it. Yeah. This one. Yes, it came with it. Exactly.
How do you guys
that what?
Where you set that so you can add down? How do you do that?
I don't know, sir.
When you start that, you want somewhere that I don't know if you post your website on Firebase that you see you cannot add anybody there on the add user.
No, I did not say you can add users. Is it here you're talking about?
Yes. How do you do it?
You were here in the last on Wednesday.
Yes.
We've done this one before.
I don't know.
Check, go to Can you see Firebase console? Take top right, top right. You should see go to console. Don't click on it, just right click and open it. Okay, don't worry, leave it. So if you go to console, have you seen your new project? You created a project, you click on it. That's the project that we are working on. Then you go to build for your authentication. No, go to build. Build is in this place. Covered. How like go to build. Authentication, exactly. So if you click on authentication, you are very good at now. Just get started. Good. Get started. Then enable email and password. Just email and password. Good. See the one at the top here. Good. Enable. That's all. That's all. So that's how you have something like this. Which link? No, you should already have that one. Check your. Have you forgotten? I said you copy one. You have it now. Yes, that's it. So now the link, you get this particular link, get auth and create user with email and password from the docs. So open another tab and go to the docs. Now, if you have something like this, right, you will now have, just a moment, just probably watch the way I do it, then you can recreate. I'll give us time to right click. So this right here, what they're trying to tell you that this is the logic they're going to use in integrating your sign up function, your create user function. Now, how are you going to do it? Now, they just told you here that they're saying const auth equals what? Get auth. Now, this get auth is basically the one getting the authentication function. So the authentication function from where? Firebase. Now, again, what are these things? Create user with email and get auth. What are they called? What do you call get auth and create user with email and password? No? No. We talked about it today. What exactly do you call, what is this thing called? These two this thing here, what are they called? Modules. Modules. Because they are functions from another file, from your authentication file. You understand? Now you are getting this auth from your authentication file, which is what? Auth. And you're getting create user with email from your authentication file, which is also what? Auth. Now you're not saying that what? This get auth function here, you want to store it to this variable so that you don't always have to call this everywhere. That's why it is up. Now you're not going to get this particular function, which is what? Or module. Create user with what? Email and password. And then you're getting 3 parameters. The auth, which is what? This get auth that is here. That's the first. Second is what? Your email. Right? The email from the distance and then the password. Because those are the 3 things that you actually need for authentication. First of all, you need your email, you need your password, and then you need the authentication function that actually what authorizes them to have an account. That's what this is saying. I'm just trying to like teach you how you can visualize all of these functions so you can understand how you can use them. You understand? Now, after that, after you've gotten that particular function from Firebase, right? Remember your .then. Remember what .then does? Your .then, do you remember? Yeah. When we're using promises, exactly. Remember your .then now. How? I explained .then again in the last class. No. I explained fetch. And while explaining fetch, we talked about .then again. So it's I've been explaining this since last week Monday. So I've been going back and I've been going back and I've been going back. You don't understand. That's what you would tell me that you don't understand.
But the .then is after this thing. Then.
You understand? That's this thing. So .then is saying that after certain things, like a particular action has been completed, which is to what? So fetch certain modules and fetch certain user details. What do you now want to do? You want to what? Have a user credential. Again, this thing is basically from Firebase, so you cannot change it. You cannot put user details, user credential. Then after you've gotten the user credentials, you have a function, right, that also stores this user. So what? The user credential.user. Now, this user credential is the user details, right? Dot the user. This particular that's dot the user. So what it's trying to say is that it's trying to get a unique user. Now, why does it have to be a unique user? Because it has to be that particular user. If I don't say user credential, that means I'm trying to talk about the whole database credential. But dot user is seen as one person. You understand? That's why they say user equals what? User credential dot user. Now, like this, it is now easier for you to store the value of somebody's details on Firebase, just one person. And then to keep going, keep going. Do you get it? Do you understand it now? So I just wanted you to understand what this particular place means. Then after that, under this, you can now have your codes, your logic. Okay, this is what you want. After you've clicked on this, you want certain things to store on. You can now have your own logic. But basically, they've given you all the logic that you ever need, which is this. All the logic that you ever need. Now, you can now go ahead and copy this and paste it in your code. So I'm going to come here and just underneath this place, I'm going to paste it in my code. Right? Now, okay, well, I've done this before, so I'm just going to remove this. Right? So now, first of all, we're going to talk about the register, which is the sign up, right? But before that, let me remove this so that everybody can understand what I am doing. Why is there an error? Okay, the error is loading. All right. So now we have, okay. So this is like what initializes your Firebase app. So it comes with your set of code. It came with it. It is what actually initializes your, yeah. So now, moving on, right? Looking at this place, right? They said you need your authentication, which you already have. You need your email, and then you need your password. How are you now going to use the email and password? First of all, you need to bring, let's come back to our app. Now in our app, right? In this place, for the users to log in, what do they need? Email and password, right? That means you need to get the email and password in between where? No? You need to get the user and the email and password inputs from where? Why? Again, you need to get the email input and password input from where? Exactly now, from HTML. Are you coding on Firebase? Are you writing your HTML logic on Firebase? No. So it has to be from HTML. So what did you use as your ID or your class name on HTML? You have to fetch it there. So I'm just going to go back to my HTML and I'm going to check. Now in my HTML, right? That's in my signup.html. What did I use here? So for my sign up, where's my, yeah. So my button, I got what? BTN. I use BTN as my button. So that's for my sign up, my button. So what's my sign up? My sign up is the button that we click for everything to work. That one is very important. So the three things that we need is what? Email, password, and what? Sign up button. So that whenever they click on the sign up button, it works. We've done this before in the calculate this thing. Whenever they click on something, it works. So if you click on that, it should work. Then the next thing that we need is we should also need the password ID, right? So that whenever they use the password, it works. Then we should also need the what? We need the email ID. You understand? So those are the three things that we're going to get. So we'll come here, and then in this place, we say const sign up BTN equals to document or query selector. Then we are getting the BTN. Similarly, also we have the what email, and then we have the password. Is this clear? Is it clear to everybody? Yeah, you can do this now. So I'm going to pause here. Everybody can do it now. Okay.